Like even that first project or even to now, but especially that first one, how did you know or have confidence in what the land was, the value of the land was? And to that, knowing that, hey, we can go build something, with things that are happening with materials and material costs or shortages. Where did that confidence come from to say, you know what, I am going to buy this land and we're going to move forward with developing this?
Yeah, so my first one was around like 2017, when I started looking for the land. I leaned pretty heavily on my real estate agent and this is what I always tell people is figure out like what an acre goes for in your area. We're developing in more rural areas, maybe about 15, 20 minutes away from the city, but we also live in an area that people are used to driving. So like it's a drive-in city, our airport's not really that big. So they're comfortable making that drive, especially like we're known for like hiking trails and waterfalls and stuff. So people are used to driving 45 minutes to an hour to even get to these locations. But yeah, figuring out price per acre is a big thing starting off, and then figuring out like price per square foot with your builder. And then from there, just this, I keep saying unique properties, but like unique properties is what's going to market your property very easily on the short-term rental site. So I say Instagrammable properties is what you want. Like people who are excited to stay in your house, where it's not just a place that they're sleeping, where the property is an experience in and itself, outside of like the city that they're visiting too.
Nice. That's something to think about right there. Instagrammable property. Yeah, but the unique property experience, I like that versus just the surrounding, the things that you can't change, really. You can change that property. So you mentioned you started driving around, you're looking at 30, 40 properties or more, just to buy one, but there's really this, like best use of time issue, right? What is the best use of time? How did that change? Like, how did you change that to where you're not driving around looking at 50 properties to buy one? What happened there?
One was, I got a real estate development mentor to sort of help me really focusing on what my goals need to be, or where I need to be, or what I need to be doing right now to where I need to be at maybe in a couple of years. And when you start purchasing some of these larger parcels, there aren't as many of those on the market as say like maybe 1 to 5 acres. So like, take for instance, like there would probably be at any given time 300 to 400 of those like acre to 5 acre parcels on the market, compared to like where we're purchasing anywhere between 40 to 100 acres right now. There's only maybe like 60 of those on the market. So a lot of the times I won't even drive out to the property without doing my research on the computer. And what that looks like is we live in the mountains, where we operate in the mountains. So we're looking at how steep the land is through our county website. And then they have certain parameters that determine if we're going to be in something called a steep slope ordinance or a protected ridge ordinance that we usually don't build in, because it takes way more time to get extra permits. And then it also costs more to like beef up the foundation when we're building at a certain elevation. So that's one way to completely like just decide if I'm even going to drive out to the property. And another thing too is making sure for people who are actually wanting to do this themselves, or if they're looking to purchase property, is the drive up to the property is very important. You don't want your guests to be driving 20, 30 minutes down a gravel road. And you might see a listing and you're like, this is absolutely beautiful. Like, why is it priced at way below market or whatever? More than likely, it's probably going to be the drive, because you don't want your guests to be annoyed by the time they even get to your property. A lot of times they're driving in at night. It's going to be a new area that they're not used to. And so that's, once I decide to go out and look at a property, that's the first thing on my mind is like, what's the guest going to be thinking about as they're driving to this property? So a way to fix that is just to invest in property that's off of like a double lane state maintained road, a paved state maintained road. And then you can put in your own road. Like we'll put in anywhere between like 1/4 mile to 1/2 mile of road to get to the house.